Recent signing of number 8 Glenn Cockerill from Sheffield United. They'll need his attacking midfield skills today in the absence of senior strikers Steve Moran and Joe Jordan. There's no shortage of experience elsewhere in the side with Jimmy Case, Nick Holmes and David Armstrong, and the current England centre-half Mark Wright. And of course there's Peter Shilton, who conceded 7 goals at Luton a fortnight ago, shortly after becoming England's most capped goalkeeper of all time. At the other end, Ray Clements continues at 37 to produce the form which made him Shilton's closest rival. Clements is one of 9 internationals Tottenham can field, even without the injured Glenn Hoddle. 2 of them, Gary Mabbott in defence and Gary Stevens in midfield, are striving to reclaim regular places after long-term injuries. And starting a league game for the first time this season is reserve striker David Leeworthy. Leeworthy is 23 and he's been given a second chance in league football by Spurs after being rejected by Portsmouth as a teenager. Referee Keith Cooper comes from South Wales, and Tottenham get the game underway, a match that their manager Peter Shreve says they have to win. They've slipped to 10th in the First Division with genuine championship aspirations at the start. Southampton down amongst the strugglers at the moment, but they are unbeaten at the Dell this season, and indeed since last March when Everton won here. Mark Dennis with the throw for Southampton, looking for Danny Wallace, who's a winger by instinct but having to operate as a more central striker in this match, up front with David Puckett today. And Wallace scored twice here a week ago in an important victory for Southampton over Queen's Park Rangers. Holmes, header from Leeworthy, then from Stevens. And Dennis went in rather impulsively and made contact not only with the ball but with our dealers as well. Mark Dennis walks a tightrope in terms of a disciplinary problem. He's already been sent off once this season, here against Millwall in a Milk Cup tie, and he's given Tottenham a free kick in a position where perhaps they can test Peter Shilton. And coming in buccaneering fashion beyond Mabbott, in fact, was Graham Roberts. The 2 centre-backs for Tottenham storming in at the far post and unable to make realistic contact. Wallace. Southampton falling into the trap so far. I'm still sending the ball long in the air towards Wallace and Puckett, who are losing that battle with Roberts and Mabbott. The home team have got to be a little bit more careful in their delivery forward. Roberts. Tottenham virtually operating with 4 forwards, with Waddle and Galvin as out-and-out wingers. It's an enterprising tactic, but you have to get the ball to the front men to make it work, and Tottenham aren't doing that so far. Falco. Another one for Wallace to this time get in front of Roberts and control. Case. And Wallace, who has explosive pace, as Case realised when he tried to curl the ball beyond Houghton. And Leeworthy stopped in his tracks by the linesman's flag. He's got a good goal-scoring record in Tottenham's reserve side, David Leeworthy, and last season he scored 3 goals in 6 First Division games when he had a short run in the side. Should be Wrights. Kept his eye on the ball and wasn't distracted by Falco, but Baker gives it to Ardiles. Ardiles and Stevens between them, having to shoulder the midfield burden so far for Tottenham, and they're being outnumbered. But it's Waddle who's fouled. And Nick Holmes, who is really one of the game's quiet men, being spoken to. Possibly for the original free kick, but more likely for a word out of turn, and that's most unlike Holmes. Case. Wallace is onside. Right onside by Houghton. Case and Puckett scampering to get up with him, but Wallace has made the chance for himself, but he couldn't take it. And you have to credit Clements for that. A splendid run from Danny Wallace. On and on he went until just Clements stood between him and the opening goal. But Ray Clements has seen all that before, and he blocked it brilliantly. Misheaded flick by Bond, and now Galvin having to really go the whole way, as Wallace tried to do a moment or two ago. But he lacked perhaps the belief in his own speed, and the stoppage will allow Steve Baker a chance to get a spot of treatment. As a precaution, Southampton have their substitute, George Lawrence, more watching what's happening rather than warming up. And I'm sure Baker will quickly be back in the fray. Holmes. Case only as far as Roberts. Here's Houghton. More concerned, Chris Houghton, about keeping the ball in play. And it again is quite disarming for visiting players, the proximity of the wall around the ground. Houghton had one eye on that, and one eye on the ball, and the end product was a poor cross. Dennis with the long throw. Bond, and then Armstrong, and it's too long again for Wallace, who was caught having to come out to stay onside. And that came off Holmes and fell kindly for Leeworthy, and that's a splendid ball for Galvin. Waddle arriving at the far post, and Shilton makes sure the ball doesn't get there. Tottenham more direct then. Shilton dropping quickly to his right as Galvin swept in the cross. And Roberts knows he can do better. Phase in the game, this, with Southampton driving on but unrewarded as yet, and you feel that if Tottenham can withstand the battering in the first half, they might be able to impose some authority later in the match, but not with clearances like that. Holmes, Armstrong, and it seemed that Wallace only had to stretch for it. It was a very unselfish header from David Armstrong, coming in unattended. And it was too unselfish, really, for Wallace, who rather, I think, expected the header to have gone directly for goal. It rolled wide, and Tottenham survived. Case. Wallace. It's a bit muddled. Again, an indication of the tempo of Southampton's play. They've hustled and they've bustled in this first half. And if it was a boxing match, you'd say they were ahead on points. But Ray Clements has kept his goal intact in the first 45 minutes. One very significant save indeed from Danny Wallace when he burst through and seemed to have the goal at his mercy. Tottenham a little slow into their stride, although they picked up the tempo as the half developed. But at half-time at the Dell, it's Southampton 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Ian Crook on for Tottenham at the start of the second half. He's taken over from Tony Galvin. Tottenham have won only one of their last 4 league games. They've come here with tremendous intentions, with 4 forwards to start the game, although Crook more of a midfield man than a wide player. They've been outgunned, rather, by Southampton in the first half. But certainly with the resources and the finance available at White Hart Lane, standards of a very high nature are set and expected. And a mid-table position just won't be good enough for Tottenham. Perryman. Certainly the players will have no trouble with the sun in the second half. Waddle, that's a good early cross, and it's just too far ahead of Falco, who will keep it in play. Crook. Aiming for Waddle. To see whether Tottenham can inject a little more urgency into their play. Shilton understandably anxious, with Waddle having a chance to curl in the cross, and it might fall for Falco. It was a real opportunist effort. He'd misjudged the header. It rolled back for Mark Falco, who let fly. And it came out of the junction between post and crossbar. Bond. Good touch by Puckett, an acrobatic one too. On from Dennis, here's Cockerell. Can Southampton keep it going? Dennis. Puckett! Well, it was an attack of bewildering pace, full of trickery and deftness, with Puckett involved right at the outset, and then arriving around the near post area to head over. Again, Falco showing what a good team player he is, and again it was Mark Falco's tackle, and this is Waddle benefiting from it. Falco might benefit himself. Well, you can trace that move right back to the moment where Mark Falco slid in to win the ball for Tottenham, and he was inside his own half. Off went Waddle, and Falco wasn't settling for just winning the ball. He was up in support and eventually fired just over. Wallace getting the better of Roberts, and Puckett goes on. It's a corner. There was some bumping and boring then between Danny Wallace and Graham Roberts, and the referee ruled that it was a course of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. It benefited Puckett. But all Southampton get is another corner. Cockerell, and Case, it wouldn't sit down for him. Dennis, Armstrong back onside. Case, and still it won't go for Southampton. An extraordinary episode with Tottenham really defending now, with their lives depending on it. They'll be able to draw breath as Gary Stevens gets some treatment from Tottenham's reserve physiotherapist, in fact, Cliff Spate. Mike Varney normally does that job. He's away on a course. But there's always a little bit of extra concern when a player like Gary Stevens, who's had such a serious injury, goes down during a series of comeback matches. But he's quickly recovered. And of course every bang he receives on that troublesome knee without any ramifications will only help his confidence. George Lawrence wondering again whether he might get a taste of the action. It's a very deep corner from Case for Cockerell. Puckett! They've broken through! And it's David Puckett who's done it! A goal last Tuesday on his 25th birthday against Birmingham in the Milk Cup, and a goal here against Tottenham to continue the celebrations. Coming in the 24th minute of the second half, and it was struck deep the corner where Cockerell arrived in the rehearsed move, and Puckett with a second header to score. So Southampton really get their just desserts. But here's Leeworthy, beaten to it by Shilton, and Shilton reclaims it as Ardiles was moving in for the kill. David Puckett's third goal of the season. So Southampton, for the moment, able to forget the loss of Steve Moran and the continuing absence of Joe Jordan. Wallace. Cockerell. And Wallace. Brilliant save. Puckett shot. But really, perhaps Wallace should have gone for goal himself. As the ball was laid back by Wallace for Puckett, it wasn't an easy one for him to take. And Clements repositioned in any case to flip it over the top. So Tottenham must think again about Southampton's skill at corners, and again it's Cockerell they're looking for. Wallace will retrieve. Malco met it for Tottenham. And then Ardiles. Good work on the ball from Ian Crook. And Waddle. Leeworthy. The man over on the far side for Tottenham is Ardiles. Lovely awareness from him for Waddle, and it's Houghton. Well, that was more like Tottenham at their best. Control build-up, it's only brought a corner. The expression of home showing that Tottenham aren't resting on their laurels, but Southampton aren't, rather. away from Baker. Armstrong. Wallace and Puckett forward for Southampton. Wright's clearance. Now Baker. But angry with Baker, who followed through after he'd lost the ball. Roberts coming across to take issue with the Tottenham bench, because they've been very slow to spot that Ardiles is injured away on the far side, to add to Tottenham's troubles. Falco, Leeworthy, it almost rolled for him beyond Waddle. That's a good touch from Wallace. Collected by Armstrong. Dennis powering up outside him. And Case finds Mark Dennis. Tottenham are certainly stretched, and Wallace gets ahead to it. Clements was nowhere, but it was all Wallace could do to reach the ball. Case, and Clements is back on his line. Tottenham, for the moment, down to 10 men. And it really has been injuries over the last couple of years that have taken their toll on Ozzy Ardiles. That was a strange one from Case. Holmes. Waddle. Puckett given time. Wallace has got the better of Roberts, and Clements denies him with his feet. Armstrong following in. Well, whatever Danny Wallace does, it seems that Ray Clements can come up with an answer. And on that occasion, the goalkeeper just spread his legs and kicked the ball away. It looks very much as though Tottenham will have to play the last 15 minutes with 10 men. Ian Crook already on, and Ozzy Ardiles unable to continue. Case. Cockerell, Baker going outside him. Cockerell, Puckett, Cockerell, Wallace. There's an audacious touch to Southampton's build-up at the moment. And Tottenham are finding it very hard to live with it. Doing the organising. Armstrong takes the corner. Case, Bond! Oh, how did he save that one from Puckett? Only Ray Clements knows. David Puckett can't believe that he hasn't got a second. And Clements still finding time to enjoy it all in a crowded goalmouth, but that was a stupendous block from no more than a couple of yards. Clements again, and but for him it could be much, much worse for Tottenham. And now time is very much on Southampton's side. Roberts has been Tottenham's saviour when the cause has looked lost often in the past. I wonder whether they'll take a chance and throw him forward. With only 10 men, it's very difficult to disrupt the team even further. Roberts caught momentarily by Puckett, but in the end taking it away from Wallace. But here is Wallace, and now Armstrong. Once again, it's turning out to be a virtuoso performance from Tottenham's 37-year-old goalkeeper. Armstrong, the latest to be thwarted. Roberts and company in front of Clements, in danger of being overrun. Here's Baker. In from Armstrong. Cockerill wins it. Roberts slightly eases the pressure, but Wallace with that tremendous extra gear. But again, tremendous really wasn't the word for the cross. Southampton might well have had 3 or 4. The number of positions they've got to get in their crosses. David Leeworthy has found it heavy going, so too has Mark Falco. Tottenham just haven't had enough of the ball. They've got it now with Stevens, and Waddle! Oh dear! There have been precious few chances of striking back for Tottenham, but Chris Waddle had one then. And the header was angled down and wide. Cockerill. Puckett's just a little too quick for Perryman. Case. Southampton have 2 players over. Armstrong. Wallace is in the middle, but Armstrong still can't do it. And there's only one reason for that, and it's Ray Clements. Because less experienced goalkeepers would have committed themselves then. Armstrong was luring the goalkeeper, not prepared to shoot until he wanted to, but still Clements stopped it. Bond, right! From all angles, from all players really for Southampton. The efforts are raining in on the Tottenham goal. Bond. Waddle. And now Crook. And it was Falco who tried to flick it on and make the ball change direction. Crook just hoping that luck would go his way from long range. Rabbit. And Tottenham begin the drive forward again. Perryman. Exchange of pats of respect from 2 of the Crane's great war horses, Perryman and Case. Likely Tottenham's free kick. Maybe an opportunity to grab an equaliser here. It was Roberts trying to get in behind Cockerill. Back from Crook, and it's Roberts. Missed it out by Shilton. Mabbott. That was very close indeed. Well, two let-offs for Southampton. Firstly, when Peter Shilton flung himself to punch out Roberts' header. And with the ball not being decisively cleared, it was Gary Mabbott who twisted into the shot that had the goalkeeper beaten, but also beat the post. It looks as though Peter Shilton is going to record yet another clean sheet. And indeed, David Puckett's goal in the 69th minute has won it for Southampton. It could easily have been more, but for the brilliance of Ray Clements, who kept Tottenham alive, particularly towards the end of the second half when they were down to 10 men. So Southampton's rehabilitation continues. 2 wins now and 2 draws since that 7-goal humiliation at Luton 2 weeks ago. As for Tottenham, they're still not turning their potential to fulfilment. They're still short of their main target of building a team to win the championship. The final score at the Dell, and the crowd very appreciative of the action that they've seen. It's Southampton 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0.
Today, in spite of a morning